guys? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. So, it's gonna be a good week for y'all, man. It's a good week for you guys. You guys are gonna end up with about 4 videos this week. I just posted one, I think 2 days ago. I'm processing one right now in which I took Inky out to Jack's Beach to practice with my new drone, and I got some footage of her. And basically, I'm just trying to use the drone along with my other cameras and do what a typical process for me is when I shoot with models or when I'm shooting on projects, which I get pictures and I get video. So now one of the ways I'm going to be getting video is through drone footage. And I'll soon be purchasing a drone that I can actually use indoors. So I got one for outdoors, one for indoors. Anyone curious, I'm using the DJI Mavic Pro. So it's I got it used from a good friend of mine, and Tony Chappelle, great photographer out in Maryland, gave me a good deal on it because he was upgrading. So I went ahead and grabbed it, and as soon as I master it a little bit more, I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade probably to the Zoom. I think is the one I'm gonna be using, the Mavic Pro Zoom. So that's what we're looking at so far. Learned a great lesson this morning. Took the drone out to try to get a sunrise footage of my neighborhood, and before I went up, I saw that I only had like maybe 30% on the battery. So I'm thinking, oh, that's cool, man. I'm only gonna fly for like 15 minutes or something. And then, I'll bring it on back in, get in here and get some breakfast, and maybe hit the home gym. And that battery goes quick on those drones. And when you get I'm guilty of treating the low battery warning from the drone remote control the same way I treat the low battery on my phone. And I'm just, okay, thanks, low battery, I got it. I'm gonna wrap it up soon. Nah, when that joint say low battery, that motherfucker mean low battery, you understand me? So my drone actually crashed this morning in my neighborhood about a quarter mile away from my house. And I had to go find it. And luckily when it did crash, it was still the video was still running. So I took a screenshot of the picture real quick, just in case the battery died all the way. And I used that picture to kind of match up with the houses in the area that I thought it was. So anyway, lesson learned. We get better. So anyway, have a quick conversation with you guys while I have some coffee. So the conversation that I'm going to have with you guys is kind of a serious one that I haven't spoken to you guys about so far. I got a message on my Instagram from one of my supporters and followers on YouTube. And the question that he was asking me was, he more or less, I'm gonna just paraphrase it. He more or less was wondering why I hadn't said anything in relation to the climate of the country being right now. And he basically expressed that he had spoken to another YouTuber and asked them that same question, and they were offended and they got really upset. And he was letting me know he wasn't trying to be rude or disrespectful or anything like that, but he was just curious as to why I hadn't spoken yet on the climate of the country, and would I be more or less speaking on the climate of the country. And to answer his question, initially when I read it, right, I didn't respond. So if you ever ask me a question in my DMs and I don't respond to you quickly, don't take offense to that. I may be processing what you asked me if you ask me something good, or I may be even processing what you asked me if you asked me something stupid. So in which case, I will intentionally not answer you until I'm ready to answer you in a way that I can do so without being rude to you. So I'm gonna fix this camera real quick. I'm not gonna worry about fixing the camera. I'm gonna just step back a little bit further so I'm more in the frame. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a photographer. I take notice of these things. These things are important to me. So, if I don't respond to your questions a lot of times, it's sometimes just because I'm just not ready to answer. Or in some cases, I just, out of respect for you, I just want to process the answer. So I was getting ready to respond to him this morning, and then I was like, you know what? The same thing I'm going to respond to him about, I can just go ahead and make a video, and then I will have addressed it and addressed him, and I'm kind of all right talking about it right now. So the reason that I have not made any videos or made any direct posts in relation to the climate of the country right now for a couple of different reasons. One, I'm kind of tired of talking about it. Okay, that's one reason that I haven't done it, and the other reason is I just wasn't ready to really address all the numerous things that are going on right now. For me, the conversation has become very, very repetitive. And what I mean by the conversation has become very repetitive is, if we're talking about George Floyd, Black Lives Matter, the story's the same. Like, we've been doing this for a couple hundred years now, all right? So even if we talk about, slavery ending, and we say, we just focus on everything that came after slavery ended, then fine. We'll just focus on that part. Let's pretend like we're not gonna focus on slavery right now. We just gonna focus on everything after slavery. That's bullshit. I'm not gonna do that with you. I'm not gonna pretend like slavery didn't exist. We go acknowledge the fact that slavery existed, all right? We go acknowledge the fact that it was awful. We're gonna acknowledge the fact that you motherfuckers was just wrong, man. And I think the biggest issue of a lot of shit is, if you own up to your lineage's mistakes and you address them, right? We've in this country, we've done that with a number of different other ethnic groups. I think the Japanese were awarded some variation of reparations for being placed in internment camps. We all know that the Jewish, not Jewish people, but Holocaust survivors were taken care of and acknowledge their pain, their hurt, and acknowledgement into what we can do to kind of address the issues that they went through, and the Native Americans. So with that said, it shouldn't be that big a deal for the same thing to happen for African Americans, Black people, people of color, whatever term you choose to use. But instead, we like to play a lot of ignorant games in this country, right? And I'm not just talking about, I'm gonna try to keep this brief. I was really gonna try to make this be like a 10-minute video, but I'm just gonna speak my truth, and we'll go from there with it. You guys are really intelligent, and in this country, we pretend that we're stupid when it's convenient for us, and then we become fired up, patriotic, all inspired when it's things that are important to us, right? So with that said, if we're talking about football, sports, basketball, racing cars, motorcycles, who's the biggest, who's the strongest, who's the fastest, who's the most amazing, who breaks the most records, then it's USA all day. But then when we start talking about, okay, well, these people over here are not receiving their just due, or these women over here are experiencing these particular problems and they need to be addressed, or these men over here feel like they want to, live their life in a way that goes against the fabric of, the principles of America, then all of a sudden now it's these individualized attacks. These people don't care, and it's just getting old, man. It's old. And for me, even though I'm not old, I'm not as I'm in my 40s now, and I'm just not as militant and gung-ho and ready to just chew people's heads off as much as I was in my 20s. So with that said, I fully support the cause of my people fighting for equal rights and liberty. And I feel like right now the best way I can support them is through financially, through showing support by, reposting a lot of the things that I see that are things that I can vet and I do agree with, reposting those things, going back to the community, registering people to vote, registering, giving away groceries, giving away time, having a conversation with people, talking to young people. I have 3 teenagers myself, and I have a 22-year-old son as well. And by talking to them and re-encouraging them and reassuring them and challenging them, my children went to, one of my sons lives in Washington, D.C., and my other son, who lives down here in Florida with me, I paid for him to go up to D.C. because he wanted to go to the protest. So I'm definitely here for the cause. I'm definitely supporting the cause. But personally, this thing just hit me different, man. It's hit me different than anything that's ever happened. I find myself, I've cried a lot for different reasons in regards to the things that are going on. And everything that I've shed tears for hasn't all been just on the Black Lives Matter movement or George Floyd or Breonna Taylor or, the young lady that was just killed in Fort Hood. Like, I'm just tired, man. I'm tired. I'm tired. It's just old, man. It's old. It's the same song. I do a lot of reading, and I've been watching a lot of videos online and reading a lot. I started back reading after being challenged by a gentleman I met down here locally. I'm not gonna say his name. It's not my place to tell you his name, but that gentleman educated me and reminded me that I have a duty, and being well versed in my culture's history is a part of one of those duties, and it's a duty I used to take very seriously. I have a pretty decent sized amount of books at home, and Inky and I just started reading again and really digging back into our books, and I just really revisited a lot of books that I used to read in my early 20s when I was a bit more militant and a bit more involved in trying to hopefully change the system. I served this country for 6 years in the military, in the United States Army, excuse me. My brother served in the Marine Corps. My father served in the Marine Corps and the National Guard, the Army National Guard. My uncle is a Marine Corps Vietnam veteran. My ex-wife is in the Air Force. My other ex-wife, her father is retired Army. The military is a part of my family's tradition, and we're very proud to be veterans, and we are actually pretty proud to be Americans. But it's hard sometimes, because sometimes America does kind of make you feel like this hot chick that has so much crazy potential, and sometimes she treats you like crap. But when she treats you good, baby, she treats you good. But when she treats you bad, she treats you bad, baby. And that's the part that I'm just over. I'm over trying to convince people who don't care to care. Read a book. If you really want to know something and you really want to dig into something, you can. I think the guy, Bubba Wallace, the NASCAR driver, the black NASCAR driver, they recently found out that the noose that was in his garage had always been in the garage, and I think it had been in there prior to him getting in there. And then now I see something to the effect that says that the president thinks that he should apologize. Apologize for what? He didn't even report the damn noose. NASCAR did. And they found out that the noose had been in there for a while, but guess what? It's still a noose. Why is a noose in his garage? But fine, whatever, it's gone. No harm, no foul. It ain't had nothing to do with any form of racism. Shit happens, mistakes happen. So, for some reason, somebody thought it'd be a good idea to make a noose to help open a garage door. I don't get it, but whatever, right? But what does brother owe an apology for? Something that he didn't report. NASCAR reported it. He didn't report it. So it's that kind of ignorance and that kind of dumb shit that I'm just done. I've had enough of it. I'm just not interested in sitting around debating the ignorance of people. What I'm trying to do is find out what differences I can make and how I can make them. And, I do have some things coming up with some organizations that I'm working with. And a lot of that will come, as time goes by. You guys will definitely be updated about it because, hey, I'm a YouTuber and I pretty much vlog about my life. So, to answer your question, just to make sure I'm very clear on what I'm saying, if you want to know my stances on things, here you go. I'll wrap them up for you in a nutshell. I believe COVID-19 is real. I believe that we collectively need to do a better job of addressing the realness of it, sitting our ass down, staying in place for however long it takes, maybe say another, 60, 90 days. Hopefully, if everybody just stays still, we can kind of eradicate this thing and kind of move on from it. But I respect everybody else's opinion to not believe in it, right? Cool. George Floyd was murdered, okay? You watched a man murdered in front of you. You know that that's not right. You know that that's not, like, if how much of a shitty person are you if you won't acknowledge a human being continuously telling you that they cannot breathe and literally calling for their mother as you sit on top of them? I used to train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I was okay. I wasn't a world champion, nothing like that, but I was okay. But one of the things that I do understand is putting pressure on people, third point pressure, understanding kind of how to use your body weight to manipulate people, using your shoulders, collarbones, just different things to kind of put different points of pressure on people to kind of make them submit, right? And to kind of comply with whatever you're telling them to do, right? And some of the things I used to learn when we used to roll in jiu-jitsu is, sometimes people will fake pain to make you think you have a certain advantage over them, and really they're just tricking you. They're setting you up. It's chess. Well, I do understand that sometimes when police officers are making arrests, the people that they're making arrests with will say things like they can't breathe, or you're hurting my arm, or you're whatever. Sometimes this is true and sometimes it's bullshit. This is what comes with the territory of having the job that you have. You got to try to figure out, because you are serving of the people, you have to acknowledge their statements. You have to at least acknowledge it, right? And then you have to reflect on your rule book and what it says that you're supposed to do in those particular situations. You're not going to convince me that for 8 minutes, this guy needed you sitting on his neck. Maybe for a few moments, maybe you needed to use whatever holds or whatever, whatever things you deem necessary to make the arrest in that moment. But as soon as you have control over the subject, you don't have to sit on their neck. And anybody who watches this and finds a valid reason why that was okay, you're an asshole, and you're also delusional, and you need to tell me if you feel that way if I sit on your neck. Tell me, do you feel that same way about whatever validations and justifications you're having when someone my side sits on your neck? Come on, man. Come on, now, we're not stupid. That's all I'm saying. If you want to get on my nerves, if you want to bug me out, play stupid with me. I hate stupid stuff. I hate people knowing that an apple is red and pretending like, no, it's a fuchsia. Like, dude, it's a red apple. Like, just cut it out. And so, with all that said, we got to make good choices, and we have to do what's right for us. And I hope that collectively as a country, we sooner or later we get it together. But until we do that, the way that I'm going to help, the way that I'm going to show support is I'll use my social media platform to share the things that I feel that I want to share. I'm in the community. How many of y'all in the community? I'm in the community. I'm in the community, giving back. And I'm reading and trying to find ways to be a better person and to be able to offer better information any way I can. So for anyone who stayed and watched this video all the way through, thank you. For the ones of you who this video was too long for, maybe you'll loop back around one day and you'll watch it. But all I can say is, if you really want to help the cause, find the way that you can help the cause the way you can help the cause consistently. And if that cause, and when I say the cause, I'm not, mind you, I'm not picking one particular thing for you guys to attach me to, or even to attach yourselves to. There are a number of things going on in this country. Pick one. Pick one. Black Lives Matter. You can pick the COVID-19 situation, homelessness in America, veterans was another big thing that's important to me, homeless veterans. The list goes on and on and on. Women of domestic violence, which I've helped with that as well. You got to pick something. Pick something, stand for it, and support it. But I'm not going to be to get back to the guys asking me the question, I'm not going to probably address every situation that you see on the news. Everything that's important to you may not be important to me. So to answer your question, I reply or speak when my spirit and my brain say this is the time. So thank you guys. I'm going to look through this video a little bit, see if I can chop it down in some places. But for the most part, man, I try to keep it 100 with y'all, man. This might just be what y'all get. Me, cup of coffee, showing up t-shirt, and a scraggly beard. Love you guys to death. Real quick. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and keep an eye out on the notifications. Turn your notifications on, because things are about to get better as far as the content goes. I got a dope video coming from working with Inky on the beach. I have Next week on July 18th, I am going to be at Gallery Gun Range with an organization. I don't want to mess their name up right now, so I'll put their name in the description. I'm going to be at that organization at the gun range with them. I think we're going to have a gun range for about 4 to 6 hours or something. We'll get some shooting in. I ordered 250 rounds of ammunition, so I'm ready to shoot. I will get you guys who are following me because of my shooting videos. I will get you guys some more content. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. I know y'all been seeing my girl in a lot of these videos. Let me keep it 100 with y'all. My girl is my best friend, okay? So with her all the time. So you're probably gonna see her. This is not a couples channel, but you probably will see her. She has her own channel. You guys should go check that out. And if you're looking for a house anywhere in the country, hit her up because she can put you in contact with a great realtor in your area. And if you're looking for a house in Jacksonville, Florida, man, y'all come through, man. Come through. You might meet me. I might be out there with my camera recording. Maybe we get a little quick chess session in, a little bench action or something, because that's my focal point right now. But thank you guys so much again. Sorry the video is so long. Enjoy. More dopeness is coming. Thank y'all. Salute.